Lawyer. Today I'm going to discuss the Appendix Children. This is a new appendix that has been brought into play as per the new changes. So this there are no policy changes. This is very important to note. So there is nothing changing in the rules. All these requirements for children were always there. They were split across in different categories and rules and everywhere. They have just been made cross-cutting changes. So everything has been brought together and nothing has been changed in the policy. So everything remains the same, just that they have been brought together into an appendix format. So it's the simplification of immigration rules project going on with Home Office, the sort. So this is how they've simplified the children's rules. I'll go into the details here. So these are mainly the age. So who can be a dependent child? I think usually it's under 18. Independent life requirement, so they should not be living an independent life. So ideally they should be either, so the examples that the Home Office gives is that they should not be living an independent life. A common parental consent is required. Care requirement, so if you are bringing someone as a dependent of a student, skilled worker, or any other visa category, there should be enough provision made for the care of that particular child. Relationship requirement, yes, they should be related to you, they should be your children, birth certificate, etc. And for settlement, so for entry clearance, permission to stay. Entry clearance is an outside UK application. Permission to stay, any applications filed inside the UK, extension, switching to other categories, and settlement, indefinite leave to remain. So all have been brought in together. And parental consent requirement, so this has always been there for applicants not applying as dependent child. So if a child is applying in their own right, let's say child student for example, they would definitely need the parents consent in writing. Common requirements for both children applying as dependents of the lead applicant and children applying in their own right. So let's say a skilled worker dependent applying or children applying in their own right. The main common requirement is parental consent. The parent has to sign a consent stating that they are happy for the child to travel to the UK, apply for this particular visa, etc., etc. Where a child is applying for entry clearance or permission to stay in their own right. So anytime the child is applying by himself or herself, parental consent is always required. This is always the case. Anytime a child is applying under 18 years of age, even for registration as a British citizen, parents have to sign. Even for any application, any UK visa application they make, parents have to confirm whether they are making that application outside the UK or inside the UK. Parental consent requirement only applies where the child is not applying as a dependent. So this consent is required when the child is applying on its own, say child student visa for example, just an example. But if they are already applying as a dependent of someone under the appendix child student, appendix international sports person, short-term student, or appendix student and UK ancestry, then they are not required to provide that consent. Requirements for dependent child of a student, so if the child is applying as a dependent child of a student, the applicant is a student in the UK, the applicant must meet the following requirements for a dependent child under appendix children. Relationship requirement, as I said, birth certificate to prove your relationship, whether it's an outside UK application or inside UK. And care requirement, enough provision for care, space to stay in the UK, someone to look after the child. If sometimes I've been asked questions by students, they will be studying, going to college, it becomes very difficult. If it's just one person applying and with them the child is coming, it's highly unlikely that they will be given, the child will be granted the permission unless they have someone else, relative, friend, guardian, someone who's going to take care of the child in their absence. If they go to the university or they go to work, skilled worker visa, someone else should be there, take care of them. So that is a care requirement, very important. Age requirement, under 18 years of age. Independent life, they should not be living an independent life. And similarly, these changes will also be brought into, similar amendments will also be made to all these appendices. So all other, they are mainly work related categories: graduate route, skilled worker, all the GBM categories. Then Minister of Religion, yeah, most of them are all work related categories, that the same changes will be brought into play. These requirements will be copied into those appendices also. Also for settlement, these are two main requirements to be proved. Care requirement, if the child is under 18, care should be there, only then they would be granted settlement, indefinite leave to remain. Age, same thing, under 18. Independent life, should not be living an independent life, they should not be married, they should not be having their own children, something like that. So various other things, living at a different address, etc., etc., without any justified reason, unless they are at a university or something like that. So these are the changes to the appendix. So this is a fully new appendix that has been introduced, not the changes, I would say. So just wanted to give a brief overview of what is happening here, and thank you very much.